about. And Josh, stay tuned, okay? Because we will give Taylen Green his roses. But first, we got to talk about the problem at hand. A lot of people want to know what went on with the Arkansas defense, okay? So this is what I like to do. I think emotions right after the game, it's very easy to start pointing fingers, blaming, saying this is the problem. You have to watch film. Then I went and watched film, and I was just okay. Everybody was kind of on par with the way that they were feeling about this defense. And I'll start right here. Once again, once you're in positions to make something happen, you have to capitalize. Quincy Rhodes Jr. This is a guy I've been very high on. He's starting to figure it out, but you have to finish when you're playing games like this. Look at this get off. Oh, sorry. Let me get to this part right here. Look at this get off from Quincy Rhodes right here. I mean, great job, full extension. And when you get to this point right here, I would assume everybody in the stadium would be like, oh my goodness, that's going to be a sack. We have to finish these plays. We have to. Doesn't get the tackle right here. Then the second guy doesn't gather himself, put himself in a position to make the play, and he lets this quarterback get into that situation. And then you throw it downfield, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and run this back because we got a lot more to talk about on these plays. I would say this happened for most of the plays that I was watching. I had to rewind it so many times to really unpack all the things that were just issues. So I'll say this: Lane Kiffin, he did his part in scouting our team. He knew where our weakness was. He was picking on Steven Dix, our linebacker, when it came to coverage. He put him in very difficult situations. Do I cover the flat or do I go back to this little curl area? And it was very difficult, and Lane Kiffin did it in many different ways. Right now, this receiver is going to drag across the front of the line of scrimmage, and this is where Steven Dix has to make a decision: the running back or the guy behind me. But then I'm thinking, who else is involved in this? Okay, so once again, Kiffin, you have to give him his credit, but I'm just trying to figure out when it comes to miscommunication and out of place. You got 4 Razorbacks right here taking up space. Now, I know that tight end is decent, but I don't think he deserves this type of coverage right here, okay? Number 4, just taking up space. And so there has to be some type of miscommunication that I'm not aware of that is happening right here to just be wasting these guys and not being a part of the coverage. That's why I'm very curious to see what Matt Harris has to say come Thursday. But sometimes things just break down. Great play calls happen. I get it. We talk about effort, okay? And I'm going to get on my boy Caleb Wooden. Now, this is going to be tough for me because if y'all listen to The Zone, Caleb Wooden is a guest, and he comes on every Wednesday, okay? But when we do this, we're trying our best to be fair in our breakdowns. And if things put on tape that we need to address, we will. And when I talk to Caleb Wednesday, I guess we will just have a conversation about it. But we got to do better. We got to do better right here. I get some things are out of your control. Some things just happen. But effort, there is no excuse. All right, he sees the ball being caught right here, and Larry Worth is going to come down and should make this tackle. I'm going to have to talk about Larry Worth today as well when it comes to technique on tackling. But he misses this tackle right here. Just poor angle, poor technique. He should know better than this, especially when the sideline is an extra defender. There's no point of even guarding it. He can't run out of bounds. If he does, the play is over. But my thing is Caleb Wooden, if you see him right there at the bottom of your screen, I don't like the jogging, okay? He's jogging, and he's just hoping maybe this guy will come and get that tackle. I'm going to go back real quick. How many times have we seen in football games, as we look at Caleb Wooden right here, he was expecting this guy to get the tackle, but he doesn't. Just imagine if the effort is there. How many times have we seen players come up behind these guys and try to pop the ball out and force turnovers? Coach Kelly was saying this a little bit earlier in the week. We don't see a lot of that coming from our guys. Just a relentless effort of going for the ball to try to create turnovers. But you're not in the position because you kind of gave up on the play because you thought someone else was going to make the tackle. And like I said, Lane Kiffin, he did it in many different ways. The play I just showed you before, he ran that little drag route in front of the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to do it behind the line of scrimmage. And I think they saw that Steven Dix really struggles with the angles. But the thing about this is, even though they're going to throw this out to the flat, there's still so many other things open. You see those 2 Razorbacks I got highlighted, they're looking at each other. That's not good technique. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. Miscommunication. If the quarterback wanted to, they got a guy coming wide open in the back of the middle of the end zone for an easy throw and catch because people don't know what to do. I don't understand that. When you have players out there that don't know what to do, this is where it gets tough. I think you have to put that on coaching. And I love Coach Williams, but I'm assuming he would say the same thing too. Going back watching this tape, and there's just so much miscommunication. coaches have to say, I don't know how I need to get through to these guys, the responsibilities, but I have to do a better job of a coach to get that done. And I love Coach T. Will, but we have to do better in this area as well. Too much miscommunication, guys in bad spots, taking advantage of Steven Dix in these spots. And I would think, and it happened again. I mean, I could literally show you 10 different clips of him just taking poor angles. And so at this point, when it happens so many times, you have to make adjustments. All right. And sometimes you don't want to have to wait to get to halftime to make those adjustments. How quickly can they happen on the sideline? Because they just took advantage of this little quick out route in Steven Dix for the entire first half, and they scored points, so many points after it by picking up these easy first downs with really not much opposition. And they do it again. I can't make this up, y'all. They just keep running the same thing, putting him in that exact same situation, but this time they add a different layer. I mean, so Lane Kiffin did a great job scouting us up. He had Coach T. Will's number, and he had so much spacing. But when you look at the corner up top, once again, the safety, let me go ahead and point him out right here. You got this safety over here helping cover this. He should come off on this way sooner than this. It's just when stuff like this just keeps popping up on tape and you got two guys covering one while other guys are running wide open, it's really hard not to just point more at coaching, which is hard for me because I know the coaches are telling them what to do and to do the right thing. It's just not translating over to the football field. Here's another situation right here. Yes, he's going to throw the ball right here, but all over tape, they just leave guys running completely unguarded. I've never seen anything like it, especially with the team on their backup quarterback. I don't understand what the threat is for them to just drop back so much. You have to put pressure on this guy and don't let all these shallow routes where they can just toss it off and let him get comfortable. I don't understand how they give this guy so much space, even though they didn't throw to him. All right. And then another bust. You see that guy got highlighted. He's coming down on the tight end. And then you got another safety coming down to guard this guy. And then the guy I got in blue right now is behind the defense. If the quarterback wanted to, could have thrown another easy touchdown with nobody behind him. I'm not really sure what's going on with the safety position right now for the University of Arkansas. You just run that back again, see the whole play out. Could have been another easy touchdown, and that would have been a much worse situation in Oxford, Mississippi. And then once again, yes, he throws to the guy in the white, but you still get two different options. So many open targets all over the field. Just so much miscommunication. Players out of place. This is just really, really bad football. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, and I really can't comprehend how this wasn't adjusted early. Look at this one right here. I'm 37 years old, and I can get out here and run this route. All right. Yes, I played football back in the day, but I am not the man that I used to be. I'd probably blow a hamstring doing it, but I would at least be open. I don't understand how on a 1st and 10 you're giving so much coverage. Now, I get what you're thinking. Okay, we only got 45 seconds left, and we don't want to give up anything big. Games like this, you cannot afford to give up anything if you don't have to, especially making it easy like this. They got 2 timeouts. That's way too easy of a throw and catch. And as you can see, field goals mattered in this game. We hadn't even touched on that. But yeah, they're just moving the ball and got into field goal range. And now this one, I once again, 13. I'm glad he's doing okay. That was a very scary moment on the field. Going back and watching tape, they picked on him, and he struggled a lot trying to figure out exactly where to be. You can see they're going to have this crossing route coming right here, and you see right here, he thinks he's supposed to go with this guy in man-to-man coverage, but as the play pans out, you can see that's not who he has covered, not by any means, because you can see it happening right here. Okay, this guy takes over that flat responsibility, and then I believe 13 on this one. I have to go back and talk to Matt Harris on this one. I believe 13 is supposed to pass that off and then stay back in his zone, because I just don't understand how you let guys run completely wide open. And you can see as he turns his head right there, that's the indicator like, uh-oh, that's supposed to be me. That's bad news. And the thing about it is it's not just him. They got 2 guys wide open backside, just being outplayed, outcoached, mental mistakes all over the field, unacceptable in a game that you have a shot to win. And this one right here, yeah, I mean, I'll say this right now: the quarterback for Ole Miss, I know Lane Kiffin was probably ripping him. You know what? How he missed this, I have no idea. This is literally set up for this to happen. You fake this little quick screen right here, and watch this receiver slip by wide open. I don't know what's making him not throw this football. Makes no sense. Now on the other end, What are we doing at the safety position? Larry Worth, we're just taking up space. Single high safety. There's no tight end, no receiver, no back on that side. We're just standing out here. I don't get it. I don't understand. Good play concept. But he didn't even throw it. Look at that. Should have been an easy touchdown. Yet once again, miscommunication. Guys running wide open all over the field. And then the physicality aspect, that is, you have to make sure that you meet these linemen at the line of scrimmage. I don't understand why Steven Dix right here is backing up at all. You have to attack this. You have to meet that guy in the hole. Trust me, running backs and tight ends, they don't want to be lead blockers. Some do. Usually they're called fullbacks. But running backs, this is when you make them pay for trying to block you in the middle of the hole. Just catching the blocks right here. Same thing with Wooden. Should have been coming down much faster than that. I just don't get it. And then this is another thing that was kind of hard to watch. Sori is so good. He's such a good football player. Any other week he makes this play. He shoots this gap, just so hesitant and unsure on the defensive side of the ball. That's not going to do it. So once again, just poor play defensively. I can just keep the tape rolling all day. Guys being wide open, but this is the play that sent me right here. There's no excuse for this play happening right here. Tight end almost goes down. He stopped at the 1 yard line. Make this make sense to me. All right. The Caleb Wooden right here, based off the other guys, once the ball is snapped, single high safety, responsible for the tight end that is in the slot. Okay. Backs up, gives so much space. It's 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 10 right now. I don't understand what Caleb Wooden is doing all the way back here. He notices it too late and he's completely out of position. Easy throw and catch. You can see now 2 guys looking at him. We still got a shot. Larry Worth is having a hard time making tackles in space, or at least he did last Saturday. You have to be an athlete right here, Larry. Have to be. This is not Tyreek Hill running at you right here. This is a big tight end. Just be physical and make this play. Just get juked for no reason. But then you got another line of defense in Mitchell. I don't understand what's happening right there. How do you not make that tackle? And then look at Wooden right here jogging. I don't get it. I don't understand. I would not want to be in a film room watching film this week if I were a defender on Razorbacks defense right now. And then look at my guy right here, number 13. He has man-to-man coverage. As he's coming across, he realizes the ball has been thrown and it is caught. He sees it caught. He's looking right at him. Where's he going? Why is he still guarding his guy and letting this tight end run right by him? I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. That would give you a lot of reason to be very concerned moving forward this year when it comes to Arkansas on defense. Now, do I believe they bounce back this year or next week because we're playing Memphis? Yes. But playing competitive guys and an offensive coordinator who is very savvy, I am very concerned. The only thing that gives me hope is Taylen Green right now. He had an unbelievable game. And we talked about this on the radio when it comes to players right now in all of college football. I don't know who else you say right now is playing better at the position than Taylen Green. Maybe the quarterback from OU right now. But this guy has put on a show, and I think we finally saw what it looks like to have a year 2 quarterback under Coach Petrino's system, and it is special. And I think he still has room for improvement, even after a great game like this. And I'm going to show you a play right here because this is a part of our Southwest Auto drive of the game, which got voted on, a 75-yard drive that ended in a touchdown rushing from Taylen Green. But this play right here, even though I'm showing it, it's an incompletion. So what are we talking about, DJ? I just want to brag on Taylen Green right here, okay? Because this is so special, extremely special. Take a look right here. Does a great job scanning. They're only rushing 3, so he knows he can take his time, okay? They got coverage all over the place, but if you give him time and he gets outside the pocket, he can make something happen, as he does right here. And now look at this throw right here, okay? It ends up being a drop, okay? It's hard to see from this angle, but you can't put this anywhere else. Look at that. That is, whew, that's throws that quarterbacks make on Sundays. Very impressive. Taylen is getting more accurate. He's getting more confident. He is taking command of the offense, and it's very special to see. Like I said, giving me a little bit of a chill pill after watching our defense's performance. And then another one right here. He's finally getting the timing right on this read option. So many times it panned out to where we would take tackles for a loss. He did a great job reading the defensive ends from Ole Miss almost every single time. There was one play we got caught but I think it was just a really good defensive call. But great job by him. Look at this lane that opened up. Grant Cook's going to talk a little bit more on the offensive line and give them their flowers come Tuesday. I just want to focus on Taylen Green on this one right here. And then you get another spot right here, just dialing it in right here. When your team needs it, down 3 late in the game, he's eyeing his read, and this is progress because he struggled with this against A-State just last week. But he's in the film room and he's understanding, let me lock in, let me focus. He sees this defender come down on Platt right here, a little bit shorter, and he gets the ball right behind him to the other tight end and Rohan Jones. Great throw and catch to keep the chains moving. And this is great. I can't remember what this play is called, but this is a 3rd and 1. You have to have it. Tight end's going to sneak out of the backfield right here, but you're going to see Platt has a hard time getting through traffic. Gets a little traffic jam right there. Taylen's looking at him, and he's trying to give him a chance, but he can't shake it. The defense figures it out. Now you have to make something happen. Once again, on the run, throws a dart to where only his receiver can make the catch. Taylen Green is playing some of the best football at the quarterback position in the country right now. They've been saying it on College Game Day on ESPN, potentially probably the most underrated quarterback in all of the nation. At least that's what we've seen so far. Also, what I saw on tape, Taylen Green's communication before the snap. He sees the defense is probably going to try to bring pressure off the edge on the right side of the line of scrimmage. He makes it a little play call, communicates it with his tight end, puts him in a really good position to go ahead and outflank the defense. Now you got a lead blocker. Taylen, man, you're doing special things up front. Very excited to see this continued growth. All right, now, that being said, I always like to point out some things. How are y'all? I always like to point out rooms for improvement. Out of the whole tape that I watched, Taylen maybe had 2, maybe 3 bad passes, and that is it. Unfortunately, they come on times when you really, really need them. I'm not even going to give him that big of a hard time on this just because he played so good. But if he could go back, I'm sure he would love to have these throws back. You can see right here, he actually got the ball out on time. He just missed him. He overthrew Omega on this one right here. Very tough on that one. You hate it. Omega running great routes. I mean, look at that. Pressed the D back, stemmed him up, then came across, leaving a good little window for your quarterback. And so he overthrew him on the last one. It looks like he tried to compensate on this one. Now he underthrew it a little bit, and it's just, those plays right there, I'm sure he would love to have back. Once again, Omega. Look at this concept by Coach Petrino, though. I mean, Coach Petrino something else on calling those plays. Been really fun to watch. Another one right here with receivers. They just got to help Taylen in these situations. Once again, backs against the wall, stands in the pocket. Look how we talked about him being so late throwing the ball, not getting the ball out early. Did a great job getting this ball out before he even saw the receiver. He knew where he wanted to be, gets it out on time. Now, receiver, you got to make this catch. He goes up with one hand. Hey, CJ, I need you to go up with 2 right here and make this tough catch. That's what it's like to be an elite receiver in the SEC. Extend, maybe take the shot in the ribs, but let's keep the chains moving and move on. Don't worry about those guys coming. I don't think he really is worried about those guys coming. And this play right here may be my favorite play of Taylen Green of all time and his 2 years of being an Arkansas Razorback. This right here is first-round draft pick play right here. You see, he gets the bull rush up front. And Taylen of old, he gets out of the pocket right here. But he does such a good job taking his time because he knows where he wants to throw it. He sees the pocket. He steps up into the pocket and then gets his eyes right back to his target. How special is that? And then he throws a strike. Look at that. That is a laser beam. Sorry for people here at Oakland for not being able to see this. It's some really good tape. Great play design. This receiver's going to run this guy off, create this window. Taylen right now is trying to find that pocket because he knows Omega. He's trusting him. And then look at this. The way he leads him. Last year, Taylen had a hard time maybe throwing behind some receivers. You can't put this ball anywhere else. Whew. That's big time right there by Taylen Green. That has to be very encouraging if you're a Razorback fan moving forward to see how impressive that is. And we got people right now commenting right now. I saw that pick play with a ton of contact. Definitely got him loose. There's so many things when it comes to this Razorback team that should have you excited, at least on the offensive side of the ball.